Welcome back, tribe. It's been a minute since I recorded one like this, not on the couch. I'm going to switch it up today. Had surgery on my leg, had to remove a cyst or whatever the hell it is. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but it makes it uncomfortable to sit on the couch. So we'll do it this way for now, like the old days. And of course, got the light in the face. As you could see, look at that bright little light there. So we're going on with the shades. But today I wanted to talk about something that men tend to do when they meet the right one, but either they've been damaged from dating or childhood or some self-esteem issues. You know, it's pretty much like, why is it that, I guess you could say, men who claim to want commitment suddenly pull away when they finally meet someone worth committing to? Think about it. You know, what drives guys to systematically destroy relationships that they genuinely value? And what invisible force causes a man to torpedo his own happiness right when he's found what he's been searching for? Like, think about this, because most of us have been through this. Most of us have gotten these kinds of cold feet. And this isn't about men being jerks or afraid of commitment, because that's the simplistic way like women's magazines will suggest. It's something a little deeper than this, I would say. It's a hidden programming that operates beneath the conscious awareness with all the subtlety of a background app draining your phone battery when you need it most. So hear me out on this, okay? You probably witnessed this countless times with a bunch of friends. Maybe you yourself are this guy, right? It's like a guy meets an amazing chick who checks all his boxes. Then things progress like perfectly for weeks or months. Then as the relationship deepens, he transforms faster than Bruce Banner getting cut off in traffic. You know, he'll start picking fights over nothing. He suddenly needs space, like he's training to be a fucking astronaut. Sometimes he simply ghosts. He'll disappear more completely than the Starbucks pumpkin spice menu in February. Even more confusing, though, is he often seems just as perplexed by his behavior as she is. It's like someone handed him a script for a self-destruct sequence and he read it without realizing what it was. It's about the war between what men consciously desire and what their primitive brain is programmed to fear. It's a battle most men don't even know is happening until they're standing in the smoking ruin of what could have been something great. And what's nuts is the self-sabotage operates like malware, running quietly in the background, corrupting their chance at happiness while their conscious mind scrambles to rationalize the behavior like it's a toddler explaining why they definitely didn't eat the cookies despite the crumbs forming a trail to their bedroom, right? Think about your friend who pursued a woman relentlessly for months probably, then suddenly he got cold feet. You know, the moment she reciprocated, like a dog who chases cars then freezes when one finally stops. Or that coworker who ended a 3-year relationship right before proposing because some trivial issue, who knows, like canceling a vacation to Hawaii because you suddenly remembered you don't like sand. No, these aren't random events. Look closer. They're textbook examples of the sabotage pattern, more predictable than a Marvel movie's third act structure. So what's really happening under the hood? There's 5 key mechanisms that drive this type of self-destruction, guys. First one is this, the evolutionary trap. For thousands of generations, and it's true, ladies will hate this, male survival depended on independence and emotional control. We literally descended from men who kept their emotional distance. This creates a fundamental contradiction in modern men. The conscious mind wants connection and intimacy, but the evolutionary program sounds warning bells the moment things start becoming real. Right? It's like having an outdated security system that can't tell the difference between a threat and a welcome guest. When a man starts falling in love, his body floods with cortisol. That's the stress hormone, not just oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical. His brain processes deepening attachment as a potential threat, and it triggers his fight or flight response. It's fucking weird, but that's how it is. It's his ancestral programming screaming danger while his modern mind is saying, this is nice. It's like 2 radio stations playing simultaneously. Shit is a fucking nightmare to listen to. And be fucking clear about this. This isn't an excuse. I'm not making it one. It's just a mechanism that needs to be recognized and overridden. That's all. And you can't fix what you don't understand. And that's why we're talking about it. And the second one is the validation paradox, actually. Ask a man what he wants in a partner, and he'll describe someone who values and desires him. But when he actually gets the validation, many men subconsciously devalue it faster than Bitcoin after an Elon Musk tweet. It's true. Had to sip some after that one. I thought it was really good. The toxic internal narrative is, if she thinks I'm so great, there must be something wrong with her judgment. These are the guys that have been damaged in some way, either from childhood or a previous relationship. And this will explain why guys chase women who keep them guessing while sabotaging relationships with women who show consistent interest. They've internalized that value equals scarcity, that dating is the equivalent of thinking an NFT of a bored monkey must be worth millions just because it's hard to obtain. Okay, the moment a woman makes him feel truly wanted, he starts finding flaws that never bothered him before, scrutinizing her laugh like it's evidence in a crime documentary when he previously thought it was adorable. Okay, you'll create tests that she doesn't even know she's taking, all unconscious strategies to reassure himself that he's not making a mistake by valuing her. It's sad when it happens. And the third one would be called attachment panic. Men who sabotage relationships often had early experiences that taught them love is unreliable or dangerous. And this creates an internal time bomb set to detonate precisely when the relationship becomes important enough to hurt them if it fails. It's like installing a self-destruct mechanism that activates exactly when things get valuable enough to protect. It's maddening. And the deeper the connection, the greater the perceived risk. When attachment starts feeling real, old protective patterns will start to activate. You'll create distance, you'll find flaws, and you'll force rejection. Anything to protect against the anticipated pain of abandonment. It's emotional preemptive striking with all the strategic wisdom of nuking your own city because you heard there might be an invasion someday. Wild. Okay, and the sabotage is usually precisely targeted. A guy won't just generically mess up. He attacks the exact foundations the relationship is built on with surgical precision. I'm talking about if she values honesty, he'll lie about something trivial. If emotional presence matters to her, he'll suddenly become unavailable. Okay, fourth is the identity crisis. And I've talked about this one in a video before. Most guys build their identity around competence, control, and certainty. And falling in love destroys all that like a tornado hitting a house of cards. The vulnerability feels like weakness. The need of another person seems like dependence. And the loss of autonomy registers as a threat to their identity. It's like Superman suddenly discovering kryptonite is actually in the air we breathe. All right, this is why men make bizarre statements during their sabotage phase. You'll hear some shit like, I just need to focus on my career right now, when the relationship was not affecting his work in the first place. Or, I'm not sure who I am anymore, despite being perfectly confident before. But what he's really saying is, I don't recognize this vulnerable version of myself, and it scares the shit out of me. Okay? And then fifth, we have what, you could call expectation traps. Many men harbor deep fears about their ability to be enough in a serious relationship. Rather than risk eventual disappointment, they orchestrate the failure themselves, proving their fears correct, but maintaining the illusion of control, like deliberately crashing your car because you're afraid of getting into an accident. Notice how many guys pull away right after discussions about the future. When the relationship shifts from present enjoyment to future expectations, they encounter all the doubts about adequacy all at once. And the tragic part is, the qualities that would make a man a great partner, like the emotional awareness, communication skills, vulnerability, are often least developed in those most likely to sabotage relationships. Those most prone to the pattern are least equipped to recognize it. It's like needing reading glasses to find your reading glasses. It's so fucked. So what actually works if you're one of these guys, or you've been through this, or you've figured out that you're one of the self-saboteurs? Well, what disrupts this self-destructive pattern, for lack of a better word, is men who successfully override these tendencies through the internal work to understand their attachment patterns. Okay, it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but hear me out. They've recognized their fear responses and developed strategies to sit with the discomfort rather than react to it. The transformation can be remarkable. By identifying these physical warning signs before many of these triggered the destructive behavior you have, like the increased heart rate, sudden irritability, shit like that, you can pause and ask, is this about her? Or is this about her? Or is my attachment system freaking out? That simple awareness often breaks the sabotage cycle. And by the way, timing does matter enormously. Men who form committed relationships after establishing their identity experience less sabotage. When a man knows who he is independent of his relationship status, attachment doesn't threaten his identity. It complements it. This explains why many men suddenly become relationship ready in their 30s after seeming commitment phobic in their 20s. Communication frameworks make a critical difference here. Men who can name their fears without acting on them are far less likely to sabotage. Simply having language for, I'm feeling overwhelmed by closeness right now, but I know that's my issue, creates a space between feeling and the destructive action. It's like having a pause button between stimulus and response. It's key. And men also need models of healthy relationship navigation. Those who've witnessed functional relationships have mental templates that counteract all this sabotaging that they're doing, their instincts. Okay, without these models, they're flying blind, relying on instincts calibrated for a world that no longer exists. It's like trying to navigate Manhattan using a map from 1723. It's not going to work. Okay, the partner's response also affects outcomes. The most effective approach is calm, non-reactive acknowledgement. I notice you're creating distance as we've gotten closer. I'm here when you're ready to talk about what's making you uncomfortable. It's a godsend if you get a woman like this. And this neither chases nor abandons. It's emotional aikido that redirects energy rather than opposing it directly. But this isn't the woman's responsibility to fix, to be honest. Expecting a woman to heal your attachment issue is like expecting your Uber driver to perform your appendectomy. Okay? Wrong job for that relationship. And for men listening to this video who recognize themselves in what I'm saying, your sabotage isn't a character flaw either. It's just a survival strategy that's outlived its usefulness. The path forward isn't becoming less masculine. It's becoming your definition of masculinity to include the emotional intelligence and vulnerability. The truly evolved man isn't the one who never feels fear around intimacy. He's the one who feels it and moves forward anyway, recognizing that growth happens at the edge of comfort, okay? Not while scrolling through Instagram in your psychological recliner. For women involved with men showing these patterns, you can't fix this for them either. You can maintain boundaries and decide how long you're willing to wait for someone to do their work. But remember, someone sabotaging a relationship is revealing important information about where they are on their journey. And this goes for both men and women. Believe that information like you'd like to believe the weather forecast when it's already raining, okay? The most painful irony is this sabotage often intensifies in proportion to the relationship's potential. Men don't typically destroy relationships they don't care about. Those are easy to walk away from. They sabotage the ones that matter enough to frighten them. You can practically measure how much a man values a relationship by how creatively he tries to destroy it. Meaningless fights end with simple fadeaways, but relationships with genuine potential get the full sabotage treatment. Elaborate conflicts, bizarre accusations, sudden compatibility concerns. The relationship equivalent of faking your own death to avoid a conversation. And the good news, once recognized, these patterns can be changed. And men who understand their sabotage mechanisms can identify the early warning signs, the anxiety, sudden fault finding that precede the destructive actions. With awareness comes choice, of course, and with choice comes the possibility of different outcomes. The relationship a man wants is usually available to him once he stops destroying it. And the work isn't finding the right partner. It's just becoming the kind of person who can actually accept and maintain the connection he already seeks. That's the real challenge of, quote, modern masculinity, whatever they want to call it. It's not conquering the external world, but mastering the internal one. A frontier that's more daunting than space exploration, but with rewards infinitely more valuable than anything we'll find on Mars, okay? And that's the truth. Look within. All the answers are within, from happiness to purpose to whatever else you're looking for. And that's precisely, I would say, what the modern world is designed to keep you from, looking here. That's why they distract you with your cell phone. That's why they distract you with social media, with the news. That's 24/7 cycles, all slop, all information that keeps you distracted. Okay. I hope you guys found some usefulness in this episode. And if you did, let me know in the comments below. If you're one of the guys that have been sabotaging, or if you've done this in previous relationships, or if you get that, feeling in your stomach as you get close to somebody that you want to pull away, and you might be a commitment phobe, and, be honest where it stems from. You could see these signs in women as well. But typically I made this for men because it encompasses men far more often. And so I think it'd be more relatable to the guys to maybe hold a mirror up and see if you've been one of these dudes and how you dealt with it, by the way. If you managed to overcome this stuff and you have a little plan, please detail it out in the comments below. As usual, guys, appreciate you so much for tuning in, and see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.